Hello, everyone. My guest today is Abhi Yadav. He's the CEO at Zylotech, a technology entrepreneur and customer analytics expert. He's got experience of many stages of the life cycle, from startups to bootstrap to venture funding, M&A, and all sorts of other experience. As an early customer 360 category pioneer, he's worked with numerous enterprise brands across the retail, technology, and financial industries over the past decade. He's an engineer who holds an MBA from MIT Sloan School of Management. Abhi, are you ready to take us to the top?
No, absolutely. Really excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
You bet. All right, Zylotech, what's the company do and how do you make money?
Yeah, no. So we're an enterprise software. We help brands communicate with their customers in a more contextual, relevant manner, in a seamless way, without worrying about data quality or metrics or finding patterns and things like that. We call this as more of a bottom-up customer analytics in action. So you would know, if a brand wants to know who this customer is and how relevant he is, or what's my next best offer, we kind of keep it very contextual, dynamic.
Okay.
And it's a SaaS platform. We're a subscription as a service.
And I know you probably have a bunch of customer cohorts, but on average, what's the customer pay per month?
Oh, so these are enterprise customer in six figures a year kind of a contract. So that way, it's pretty good that way. And just because we help them at the same time impact millions and millions of dollar impact with the extra customer revenue they get.
Mm-hmm. So just to be clear, I mean, is it fair to say maybe $100,000 per year is a good average?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Put this on a timeline for me. When did you launch the company?
So we started in 2014, spun out of MIT as an sort of project, and we actually coded, built a platform, bootstrapped the company, tested on few clients, and eventually the formal launch of the platform happened as recent as 2016 and 2017.
And how'd you fund yourself for those first 3 years?
Yeah, no, great question. So so this is my second startup. I kind of sort of bootstrapped this one a little bit. We were trying to hunt for the right customer. So any product on machine learning requires not just a team, but a little bit of real customer, real data situation. So we took some projects and we built our stack over the period of time. So kind of a little bit of bootstrap there before we raised some seed money.
Okay, how much have you raised to date?
So we have raised till date about $6 million.
Okay, and was that any of that convertible note or all equity?
So initially it was convertible note, but we just concluded our sort of a venture round more recently. In fact, our announcement is due in next few days.
Oh, that's great. So the money's already been wired. It's closed.
Yeah, it's closed. It's all up and ready.
Great. I like to say congrats, but only if you got a great deal and you didn't get diluted like nobody's business. So maybe congratulations. Okay.
No, thank you. We're happy for the deal. We're excited about our partners. It's a little bit in embargo, but you'll see some of our press and everything pretty soon. So we're excited.
Very good. You listen to the show, you get early funding announcements. That's how it works. All right, 2014 you launched, and what have you scaled to today in terms of total customers?
So we have dozens of enterprise customer, and we're sort of doubling them, hopefully by the end of this year. Okay. So yeah.
So I mean, does dozens? I mean, are we talking like 24-ish?
I would say anywhere between 15 and 20.
Okay, 15 and 20. Fair enough. So now, if I take that 15 times that ACV you just gave me, that would put you like around 120 grand a month ish right now. Is that kind of in the range?
Yeah, you're around that range.
Okay. And what does growth look like? If you go back to October last year, what were you doing in that month?
So our growth is about 250%. Absolutely. So we are indeed doing really well from a growth perspective. I think we have a solid product, and as with this round and as kind of adding some more muscles in sales and marketing, we can definitely, we have some great integration just announced. We got some real good partners. So we're the gas, the pedal is on the gas.
That's good. So just to be clear, 120 grand a day per month, go back a year, 250% year over year growth. That means you're doing what, maybe 30, 40 grand a month then?
Yeah, you're right.
Around there. Good. Tell us more about the growth. Obviously, any SaaS company, when you're growing, churn is critical to make sure you can keep driving growth. What is your churn today, and how do you manage that?
So, I mean, with enterprise and the kind of product you build with a lot of integration, just because we're an AI product and a lot of customer data is being integrated into it, it's kind of hard for us to have the kind of churn you normally expect in some of the MarTech applications and like plug and play apps. It's an enterprise solution. It does have the pain area is some sort of a long sales cycle, but once you're in, it's kind of hard for that kind of churn. So we haven't seen any churn as yet.
So no revenue churn either. No dollar lost.
No, not as yet. Not as yet. We're, as you can imagine, we're not too old in the market at the same time, but I think most of our customers are really excited on what we're doing, and we haven't really seen any churn as yet. But
that means you're too cheap.
Not cheap, but we've been very selective in the kind of customers we're working and trying to work around. We're not just trying to do like, hey, you know what, we need, more customers. So let's go for these 100 ones. And even if we were not ready there with a product and, 80% would like losing them, doesn't matter. We're not using that strategy. We went on the other approach. We thought, let's work with some, delight them, and then probably go more faster, go in more verticals, go in more sort of a more land and expand.
Very good. What does expansion look like today from year 1 to year 2 typically?
So we're hoping now that with this round in place and putting some more focus on our sales and marketing and integrations and partnership, we are hoping to go up for a 4x, 5x sort of a growth rate. So
sorry, just to be clear, Abhi, I'm talking like, so let's talk just currently historical data. If someone paid you 100 grand in year 1 about a year ago when you renewed last month, what are you typically able to expand that one to?
Oh, okay. So for existing customer, we started with some of our customers for an annual contract, which about 50% of them has renewed it now for 3 years. And from an upselling revenue, like some of these enterprise has different pockets, and we can expand into increasing our revenue. So we've kind of, with some of them we have sort of doubled. With some of them we have been able to grow for at least 30-40% of the revenue. So it's it's a small base, but and we had a lean team in our sales and marketing. But yep. I think we are definitely sort of underutilizing some of these connects and existing customer.
And what's your team size today?
So in total, we are now about 35 people. But
everyone in Boston.
Yeah, Boston, and then we have somebody out of virtual people, and then we also have a team back in India. But yeah, largest number is just in Boston.
And talk to me about how you're acquiring customers. So what are you willing to spend to acquire a customer that then signs a $100,000 first year contract?
Yeah, so we are sort of CAC is. And like I said, we've been more surgical in catching customers. So our approach has usually been, focused on kind of thought leadership, demand gen, and that led to direct sales and, talking to them, also doing our own curated events. To acquire customer referrals is working pretty good with us.
Yeah, but so when you add up like all the humans you have dedicated to those initiatives plus direct paid spend, what's your fully weighted CAC look like?
So it's about anywhere from 20 to 30K. It's not less at the same time.
Okay, so that would put your payback at about kind of 4 or 5 months?
Yeah, like 6-7 months.
Yeah, 6-7. Very good. That's great. And you just closed this round of funding. Did you? I'm curious what the funding environment was like since you just went through it. Did you raise mostly in New England, or you go to the Valley, or what?
Yeah, so our lead is definitely from the New England area, one of the, good VC, and probably some point of time we'll talk about that. But and it's an embargo announcement is coming in. So, but we also have, two other sort of investor, actually three other investor, and one is from New York, one is from Texas, and one is from the Valley.
Oh, so, very good.
Yeah, pretty good coverage there.
All right, Abhi, let's wrap up here with the famous five. Number one, what's your favorite business book?
Oh, it's Good to Great.
Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
I think I like being in the New England area. Very fascinated. Brian Halligan of HubSpot. We went to the same school. Also had a lot of stories and connections. Very inspiring.
Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building your business?
Sorry, what's
your favorite online tool for building the business?
Okay, so it's Google. I'm a complete Google fan of Google Calendar, Google, Wiki to Google Email. We almost play with everything around what Google offers. So absolutely.
Number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
That's a tough one. I could say that on an average, I sleep for 6 hours throughout the week on an average. So there's a plus and minuses, but that's how I do the mean average.
And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Married with 2 kids.
That's great. And how old are you?
Oh, 7 and almost going to be 1.
How old are you?
Oh, I'm just 40.
How old?
40.
Oh, 40. Great. Last question here. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
What do I? I'm sorry. Could you say that one more time?
What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Pretty good sports person, I would say. So I think there's a lot of similarity between playing at sport and doing startups. So probably a team play and doing it that well.
More team sports?
Yeah.
Guys, there you have it from Abhi. Founded Zylotech back as an MIT spinout in 2014. Today doing about 125 grand per month in revenue. That's up, I'll call it, 250% year over year. They've just closed another round of funding, so $6 million funded so far. 15 customers paying on average $100,000 there in ACV. Contracts expanding typically year over year between 30 and 60%, depending on which cohort or which customer. Again, small base right now. He's willing to spend about $30,000 to sign a $100,000 customer. So payback period there, I'll call it 6-7 months. Team of 35 people based in Boston and other remote locations. That is Zylotech. Abhi, thank you for taking us to the top.